I grew up eating eggplant braised in soy and ginger, and I just love that silky texture. Today I'm going to share with you a little riff on that, and it's going to be that same awesome texture, but with Mediterranean flavors. So I've got 2 eggplant here. It's really important to find eggplant that are about 8 to 10 ounces a piece. These are globe eggplants, but you could use Japanese or Italian eggplant if you wanted, as long as they're smallish. I'm going to start by cutting the bottom and the top from the eggplant. After the top and bottom come off, I want to cut this eggplant in half and then stand it on the larger flat side so that it's nice and steady and not wobbly. And I'm going to cut them into wedges. What I'm shooting for is about 3/4 inch pieces. And this shape is critical because it provides a nice swath of skin that holds all this flesh in place. Otherwise, these can kind of fall apart. So the other reason you want to use small eggplant, they have a smaller seed pocket. As eggplants get larger, this seed pocket in here gets really big, and it is the first bit that kind of disintegrates when you go to cook this. One last bit of knife work. I need to mince some garlic, 2 cloves. So I like to smash the garlic before I run a knife through it because that bruising and damaging of the cells gets me kind of a stronger garlic flavor. And that looks great. Next up, the spices, and this is where we get all of that flavor. I have a tablespoon of tomato paste. I like to use the stuff in a tube. I don't go through that much, and so when I get the cans, I end up just having to leave it in the freezer and then throw it out a couple months later. Next, I've got paprika here. I need 2 teaspoons. I've got 1 teaspoon of table salt, 1 teaspoon of coriander, half a teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and last up, half a teaspoon of cumin. I know this seems like a lot of spices, but they blend together really well and you get this kind of smoky, sweet, earthy flavor. It's fantastic. I've got 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil in this 12-inch nonstick skillet, and now that the oil is shimmering, I'm going to add my garlic. And I just want to toast this out really gently. I'm not looking for a ton of color. It's only going to take about 30 seconds. This seems pretty good. Next up, the tomato paste and spices. And here, I want to kind of smear that tomato paste into the pan, and that's to help break up any lumps of tomato paste. I really want to make sure that paste is well toasted and its flavor is getting infused into this oil. Next up, the eggplant. And it's okay that this pan is a little bit crowded. It's not a problem. I'm just going to add 2 3/4 cups of water and crank the heat to high. Once this comes up to a boil, we're going to cover it and let everything kind of steam and braise simultaneously. So this is looking great. There's a nice rolling boil going. I'm going to now turn this down. If I left it so that it was boiling this hard the entire time, the eggplant at the center would kind of fall apart. So this looks great. I'm not seeing giant areas of bubbling. I'm seeing just little pockets of bubbling, and that's all I want. I'm going to cover this, and this is going to braise for about 15 minutes. About halfway through, I'm going to come by, give it a shake. At that point, the eggplant will have collapsed enough that it'll sit in there in one single layer. So this has been cooking for 15 minutes, and we're going to keep cooking this eggplant while we turn this braising liquid into a glaze. It's going to take 12 to 14 minutes to reduce this liquid down to a couple tablespoons, and every so often I'm just going to come by and give this a shake, make sure things are moving and cooking evenly. While this is going, I need about 2 tablespoons of minced cilantro. I think its flavor complements the spices in this dish really nicely. The stems that are really small, like these guys over here, they're fine in this dish. They've got tons of flavor. I don't see the point in throwing them away. So I don't bother with stacking herbs. I just kind of gather it all together in a tight bundle without actually crushing anything. And then I run my knife through first in one direction and then turn the entire bundle and come across one more time. So yeah, that's it. This is more than 2 tablespoons. So it's been about 15 minutes and this has really come down. You can see how nice and thick that glaze is. Let me cut the heat and get this off the stove. This smells amazing. I just want to give this a quick taste and check the seasoning on here. It might need a little salt and pepper. I actually think the salt's pretty good, but I'm going to add just a touch of pepper. This dish looks amazing, so I'm going to make a little plate for myself. I really like to finish this with some fresh and cool flavors. I've got a little bit of whole milk yogurt. Just gonna drizzle a touch on here. It's about 1/3 of a cup for the entire dish. And last up, that cilantro I minced earlier. Oh, I can't wait. This eggplant held together beautifully. You can see all the pieces are still intact and they have their shape still thanks to that skin. And that skin is crazy soft. And it's just tender and velvety and creamy and delicious. I could have this for dinner with like some rice and that'd be enough. It's so great. And we've got a couple other flavor variations on the website. You should absolutely check them out. And whichever variation you try, just remember, be sure to buy small eggplant and cut them properly. Braise them gently and reduce that braising liquid into a glaze. So from America's Test Kitchen at Home, a terrific recipe for braised eggplant with paprika, coriander, and yogurt.
Thanks for watching America's Test Kitchen. What'd you think?
Well, leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or you can just say hello.
You can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
I'll see you later.